Hey guys, Anthony here. This is Starlight Activation. I was relaxing on the sofa in my underwear. I was watching television and I had a channeled message that I could watch. And so I did, I viewed it, and it just brought up about 7 things that we need to talk about. So I'm home, I'm still recovering from surgery, and I thought, okay, I'm here, you guys are somewhere, and I'm just going to get the video out. The premise of the video is what I started with. And if you guys want to know, yeah, this is one of Molly's videos, Crossroads meets the Ocean Rose, and she was doing a live event. Unfortunately, I missed the live part. That would have been amazing because I would have wrote in a comment that would have made her laugh, because that's just how I am. But I missed that part. But still, the message came through, and there were several parts of the message that came through. And I want to talk to you guys about when you are starting your journey, and if you're like a lot of light workers where someone around you has been pulling down your energy or feeding off of your light or doing anything that's kind of like negative to your psyche, to your energy, to your well-being, it does drain you, and it does not suit your best and highest timeline. And what I need to encourage you to do is to pull back your energy. And what I mean by pull back your energy, I just don't mean physically, like pulling yourself away from someone. I mean energetically pulling back from someone to where you're not going to take the bait to get into a drama, to not follow the old patterns of the ego that will pull you into a situation to where you're going to have to dig yourself out of it. And I want you to try and focus on providing self-love to yourself. That is how your journey starts. Your journey starts with you pulling your energy back and providing yourself love first. You've got to help yourself first before you can help anybody else. And one of the notes that I wrote is, when you pull back your energy, you're really allowing your light the ability to shine like a beacon, because that's what it is. You are a beacon of light. And your light, just being on its own, has healing properties that you probably don't even resonate with. But that's how it does work. We are light and energy and harmony and love. And our job is to help elevate each other. So another part of that is with that self-love could be meditating. It could be like I do, go out into nature and ground myself with Mother Earth. Or a lot of times, I've said before on videos, I listen to Hertz music or whatever type of music is your preference. Something that calms you, that centers you, that feeds your energy, that helps you connect with source, so that you can figure out what's going on in your own life and look at the things that no longer resonate for you, and you discard those things along your journey to your higher self. One of the things that also came through, especially at the end of the reading, it was follow your heart, love, not fear. Life is beautiful. And I love that quote anyway, just because that was one of my favorite movies, Life is Beautiful. The one about the concentration camp with the father and son. But the father made it like a game for his little son. And his little son never really realized what was going on, because the father built this beautiful world for him that showed them they were in a contest and they wanted to be the winners. And it's the father's ability. I mean, so in the movie, yes, he would have been a light worker, because look what he was doing. He was taking the worst situation, concentration camp, and turning it into something so much better, so that his son never knew the damages that were going on around them. And I've always loved that movie. It has such a powerful message. It's all about your perception of everything. And that's a lot about life. It is your perception. You could be around someone that is negative all the time, and no matter what happens, they're going to have a negative spin on it. You pull yourself away from that, because that residual energy, that dark energy, that negative energy will affect you. Pull yourself away from someone like that to distance yourself, to heal yourself so that you can work on your journey to help other people. And then you can help that person. I have people in my own family that I'm trying to help that have a history of negative energy that I'm trying to, with every little thing I learn, use myself as the instrument, or not really the instrument, but use myself and my situation to help them understand what's happening in my life and how they could do the same thing on maybe a different level, maybe because they're not a light worker, but they can see the interaction that's happening with me and the changes that are happening in me, and I'm trying to promote the happier changes into their existence as well. But one of the big things was the word alchemize came up, and I realized that's what prompted me to do the video in the first place. I realized we have not talked about alchemizing. Now, I've shared a little tiny story about alchemizing, but I want to go more in detail in this. So, alchemizing, for me, I don't know what other forms I use it in, but I know the one big one. So, when I'm in a prayer meditation with my guides, and I am asking Archangel Michael specifically to cut the cords between myself and anyone else that has any negative intent towards me, negative energy, negative thoughts, destiny swap, to use my energy, to keep me bound to someone, to attach spell work to me. These are all just general things that I'm thinking of off the top of my head that I know have happened. And I'm asking for that cord to be cut. So we call it cord cutting, but it's actually, in my world, in my third eye vision, much different. The first time I did it, and I was blown away, and I see this every single time I ask, is that I asked Archangel Michael, and I can see him. I see where he is. He's always in the same location. He's always up on a mount. He's got this absolutely beautiful armor on, and he's got one of two swords that he uses. And I ask him to please cut the cords or cut the binds that attach myself to another person that out there that has any of these characteristics, whether knowing or unknowing. And if I know of someone, I will list them specifically. And if I'm concerned about people in their realm, I'll name that person. And I'll say anyone that's in their realm connected to them that could be helping them to do this, like a coven. And a coven can be as small as 3 people, but it's 3 people that have a purpose. And their purpose is to either drain your light or drain your energy, or to keep you bound, in my case, to someone else. So when I ask that, when I start talking to Michael about this, what I will see him do is he will get up one of his 2 swords that he's got. The one he uses more than any of the other one is a very long, thin, narrow sword. Very, very big as far as its length. It's not like a sword that you would see on television that people do sword fighting or when they do jousting. No, it's much, much, much longer than that. And it looks heavy, but he yields it like it's a feather. And he spins around in a 360, and I see, as he's coming through, it's like chains. It's not cords. It's like shipyard chains, the heavy, heavy, massive chains that would hold a ship to the dock. And I'm talking like a battleship. So we're not talking something tiny. We're talking something massive. And his sword comes through. It's white hot at the tip, and it doesn't touch the chains physically. The chains disintegrate right before your eyes. So as it's coming through, the heat from the sword melts the chains down. Well, melt is the wrong word. No, it turns them to flake. It turns them to like a black flake, and they flake apart. So they disintegrate. So they fall to the ground. And then I can always see how many individuals are represented by the cord cutting. So I see shadows down below, and I can like tell how many people are down there. I can like see how many people we're talking about. So that's a visual there that I've always had. Part of that visual is when I thank him for doing that, I started alchemizing, and I didn't know what I was doing in the beginning. I started doing something that my intuition told me to do, and then I went back later and said, I don't know if I had permission to do that, but I just did it, and you guys let me know if it's okay. So this is what I do always now, and it came naturally to me. So this is one of those instances where your gift, when you need it, will come to you. And so this one particular time, I was in my favorite park, and I just started saying, you know, my light can seek out and find negative energy at its inception that's headed towards me. Its inception, its thought, its first thought. I don't mean its first action. When the moment someone generates a thought, writes something down, or tries to enact a spell, my light spans out like a blast across the universe. And that is always a third eye vision from Metatron. And so I always thank Metatron because I see Metatron sending out and showing me that my light has been sent out. And it goes out and it seeks this dark energy. Now, this is where it was kind of interesting, is what I said the very first time. My light finds this energy, mutes it, renders the person who casts the spell work as mute, as useless, as nothing. And my light can take that dark energy and transmute it into light, pure diamond dust, much like what we see in the night sky. This is exactly what I say every single time when I'm talking to Michael. And so what has now happened is I've transmuted negative energy, and I've transmuted it into positive energy. I've just alchemized without even realizing that's what it was. So now I have this beautiful diamond dust. And this is what I said next. Michael, this new positive light energy that my light has created is going to go into a leather pouch that is a gift to you on the side of your waist. So it's like this leather pouch that hangs on the side, outside his armor. And these diamond dust particles go automatically into this pouch. This is now available for him to hand out as blessings to people when they are in dire need. So I'm talking about people at the end of their rope, people that are facing with maybe suicide like I have, and at their deepest, darkest despair, that are calling out to Archangel Michael, because we know millions upon millions of people will call on archangels for direct help. And so I said, I am more than happy. I am thrilled that I can be able to do this, that I can create this new energy. It comes to you, which means you can share my light with other people well beyond my realm that I would not have access to. I would not know their needs, but you will know their needs, and you will know the ones when they need it at the time they need it most. And please be able to, this is at your full discernment. This is for you to use as you see fit. What I'm doing at that point is now thanking Michael and the divine for allowing me to alchemize, to create this new energy, to send this new energy out into the universe beyond whatever mortal means that I have. And that makes me very proud. Then I acknowledge that's me co-creating with the universe as well. I am creating newness. I'm asking for it to be sent as blessings. And it makes me very, very happy to be able to do something like that. So that is just one example of how alchemizing works. You can alchemize in other areas. You can state your intentions, and you can ask for things like that. You can manifest what you want to happen. You can ask for well, when you're manifesting, in my case, more of a specific example is that I knew I was told to dream really big. And you guys know that the aquascaping channel is my passion. And so I wasn't dreaming big enough. The first thing I said was, I just want the channel to, to be successful. Blank. So generic. Oh my God, it was so generic. And I think a couple of prayer meditations came through, and a very specific message came back to me. You are not dreaming big enough. And this was during the prayer meditation. You are not dreaming big enough. And so I said, well, I don't know how big is big. I don't know what's available. And so that's when I had another third eye vision, and I saw something magical, and that's what I started to manifest, was that life. As soon as I was shown one thing, it tipped me off to what was possible, and I ran with it. Oh my God, did I run with it? I just started listing off everything. I was like, well, if I get that, then I need this, and this. I mean, I was just had everything lined out, just everything. And then also, a couple of days after that, I was in one of my parks foraging, and I was talking to Mother Nature. And I was talking about I needed to find my wand, and I wanted her to help me with a wand. And I have told this story before on another video, so I won't bore you with that. And then a vision came to my mind about a small business. And so I ran with that. I ran with that one after that too. I was like, okay, well now I saw that, and this is what I think. And it made me laugh, because it's definitely not a faith-based business. It's a comedy-based business, which fits my personality, and I chose one of my nieces to be able to work on it, because I'm supposed to be able to share and create generational wealth for my family. So I have 3 nieces that are all adults, and I got 3 business ideas. So when I started asking big, oh yeah, then the ideas just came straight to me. But to get to that point, you have to trust your intuition. You have to do the work on yourself. And I want to, I know this video is getting long. I want to let you understand one other thing that popped up in this session that I watched. So my estranged husband, we have not seen each other for almost 2 years. Well, it's been 2 years since I left the States. And I think I've saw him once since then, because I flew through where he was. And I saw him by, chance. But he's wanting to make a comeback. When I pulled my energy back from him and blocked him, he has been blocked. It doesn't stop him, because we were twin flames. He still has some of his twin flame power that I never had, and I never understood it. He always knows when I'm sick. He contacted me the day I got home from the hospital and said he had a dream about me. But his message is so vague. He just says, I had a dream about you, nothing bad. How are you? Which is his way of introducing a conversation where I'm supposed to pick it up and run with it. Well, I just blocked him again, because we're not going down that road. That's a lame attempt. I have told him if he does not have an apology for me, I'm not interested in hearing anything back. But since I've blocked him, he has a newfound respect for me and the self-love I'm pouring into myself. And yes, he watches me online. And under fake accounts, I know he's watching me. I can tell. But he probably senses that I do have a new spouse en route. And because he's always had this ability to be linked to me, but I have never had that ability. I've never had the ability to to know anything that's going on with him. So it doesn't mean if you're a twin flame, you both are going to have powers like that, because I don't have any. And he didn't show up for his mission. Now he realizes what he has left behind and what he chose the ego over me. And so now he's in regret. Now I have heard, you know what I'm talking about. That's part of his karmic payback or justice, is that what he gave up, he will now long for. But I have no contact with him. And I have told him, I'll divorce you after the new year. Because I don't have the money to do it right now. I'll divorce you after the new year. It's that simple. I'm done. Once I make my mind up, I'm done. So pulling back my energy was my first level of gumption that showed the divine that I was serious. And I didn't fall for any of his attempts to keep trying to pull me back into a conversation. Nope. Just shut it down. Shut him down and block him. We're not going there anymore. It was so bad that in readings where we talk about someone from the past coming forward, I would just yell at my television. No, I'm not. No way. I'm not going forward with that. No. There's no going back. I would start yelling out loud at my television and telling my guides, no, that's not happening anyway. No way. No, I don't care what he does. I said it's not fair to have an 8-year marriage where I was breadcrumbed and felt like I was the ogre, and then he gets to do, a few weeks of work, and he gets to come back? No, that bridge is gone. This is the bridge on the River Kwai that's been blown up, and there ain't no way you're crossing it after that because it's been blown up. Yes, that's a movie reference. I love that movie, by the way. I think, the one thing I love that came through in the message, you are safe because you're following your guides. So your intuition and your guides and the divine, it's all one, because they get messages to you that you need at the time you need it. Okay, at the time, not that you want it, I said at the time you need it. Because when you want it, it may be, weeks before, and you're like, hey, what's going on? No, it doesn't work like that. It's divine timing. We don't know on the other side of the veil how everything's lined out. Now, I've told you guys that I had a third eye vision, and I saw what timelines are like. And it's beautifully intricate to the nth degree. It's layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of this blue mist. And every layer of blue mist, which is like paper thin, is just grid of light. And I can see how when you place one person, you need to place someone in someone's timeline, you got to make those lines connect somehow at some point to where you will come in alignment with someone. And that's intricate, and it takes time it's not like you can just go, done. No, it's not magic. It's divine timing. So sometimes things have to play out. Sometimes people have to get to the level to match your energy or your level. The divine is not going to place you with someone at the bottom when you're elevated, because that's an imbalance. You want, especially if we're talking about a power couple, you want a power couple that both bring something to the table. You both bring this energy together, and it's equal. It flows between you. That's what you're looking for. But in tonight's reading, it did come up. There is a past life connection, kingdom spouse, possibly twin flame. I have been hearing this for 5 months, that this is what is in the works. And so there was a while that I was just like getting frustrated because nothing was happening, and I was keeping being told about this and nothing was happening. So now we started in May. Now it's November of the filming for this. And we're still waiting. So that's the part about divine timing. Sometimes the other person has to go through trials, dark night of the soul, cleansing something out of their life that won't do the two of you any good unless they deal with that first. or a lesson they need to learn to get to your timeline to where you're aligned successfully together. So I hope that makes sense. The big thing about is alchemizing is easy as I said it is. My intuition said it, and then my mouth had to kind of like back up, and my brain said, wait a minute, I don't know if I can do this. If I did something wrong, please let me know. I'm always very humble with my guides and the divine and Mother Earth. Always. Maybe too much. Because what came through tonight's message is that my intuition is spot on and my guides are with me. And I think I'm always the spicy one they talk about, that my energy level is really, really high and that people are drawn to my energy level. Now, I'm told that all the time as a flight attendant, that people are drawn to my energy. So I hope this resonates with you. I hope it makes sense. It probably doesn't. I'm not promising it makes sense. If you're just now joining and you think all this is happening, just start doing your own research. I am not the end all by any means. What this is for me is my video diary of what's happening as an event unfolds. I'm sharing it with you guys in hopes that I will reach someone out there that will help them either wake up, unplug from the matrix, get on their path of being a light worker, and join me in the mission, or just to help someone, maybe if they're confused about some things, offer a little bit of clarity and realism. That's what I bring more than anything else. I know I don't know the answers, and there's way better people out there that do, but at least for me, I'm showing you realism and how I deal with things on a daily basis. So I hope that helps. If you got any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I will either see you up in the air as your flight attendant, maybe, or on the next video update. Then I am sending you nothing but light and love, and you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.